Okay, as you can see, it is 12:53 p.m. here in Dalton, Georgia. On a cold, gloomy, cloudy day. It's actually better than it has been, though. I'd take 43 degrees over 20 and 30 degrees any day. Groundhog's Day was really, really cold. The day the story broke that the memo was actually released. And I'm going to go to my website here. I've been working on my website. It's a free Angel Fire page, so it does have pop-ups. I am adding a section for past podcast, and as you can see, it does have the pop-ups. So it actually just popped up the site again. Let's go. Let's see if it'll actually load. Is it still recording? Yes. Okay. I couldn't tell if I was still recording or not. Okay, here we go. All that's working is, well, I've got my section here with the about me, and I've got a link to where you can get my old episodes. I'm not through uploading these, and as you can see, they jumble here on the mobile version of the mobile version. They're a bit jumbled, and I'm not through linking them, but eventually it will come. In some reason or other, it's loading page by page instead of the and there's the pop-up. Okay. Let's see if I can get back to my home page. I went back on the home page. There we go. I think I'm going back to the home page. Anyways, I've actually put a warning up here because it is a free site, and because it's free, you will get pop-ups every time. Like normally, if you're checking out the podcast or any other link on the page, it will sometimes put a pop-up just right when you click the link. So sometimes you have to actually close that pop-up and then hit the link again. I would like to, and they're not really that expensive, but right now I'm just so pushed that I can't afford extra money on me right now. So I'm just, for the time being, I'm going to keep it free, and we'll see how things go. I added the Lyco search box up here. I wasn't there before till last night when I was working on it. 41 degrees according to that clock. I've got my links here for the Podomatic, the A.P.S show on Blind Talk Radio, and then my YouTube page, and this would be my live journal page, the podcast blog. That's the logo of the station that I made for Live 365, but I took it and changed it to 8tracks.com when I moved from Live 365. Live 365 shut down for a little bit. They're back now. But let's just say nearly $60 a month. So I'm still staying at 8 tracks at the moment for my playlist. And I hadn't made one in a while. I don't think even before Christmas or something like that. I don't remember Thanksgiving, Christmas, or even way before then. It will eventually take you to my 8 tracks page. And my 8 tracks name is, here we go. My 8 tracks page is actually the same as my station's name. Let's see the last time I made a playlist. November 16th, 2017. So it's been quite a while. I miss my streaming station. I had that thing from 2009 to when they went out briefly for 2016. And this is a conspiracy theory, but I always thought that maybe they was struck because of independent people like me and several other people on there. Of course, it is back, but it just cost us more. Like back then, you could get a package for that 1 month that they charge you to cover your whole year. Now it was you had to broadcast in very low stream or have your files in low stream because the bigger your file was, the less songs you could have. But I used to actually use that. Right now, I've gotten where I'm just about not listening to music. Because pretty much everybody that I listen to are some of the ones that are running their mouth about Donald Trump, except for the ones here that are dead, no longer here, like John Lennon. But we probably know he would be running his mouth about him. Jim Morrison, Jimi Hendrix, and Elvis Presley. Elvis, out of the three here, probably wouldn't be running his mouth. Surely not. I would hope not, unless Hollywood made him run his mouth about them. Because a lot of these people, and that thing right there, that's a very old graphic from way back when I first made my station, or back then. I would have took that thing right there off, but I don't even listen to that thing anymore. We definitely know Nirvana to be running their mouth. Foo Fighters, one of the bands that runs their mouth. Of course, I don't know. Maybe the Kurt Cobain, who knows? Whatever. I would pretty much bet he'd probably run his mouth. Well, anyways, Dave Mustaine isn't running his mouth. I saw Axl Rose, and I didn't want to really mention him because he gets mad about everything, but I'm not trying to make him mad or anything. I saw him saying something not too long ago about Trump. So it's just getting outrageous that these rock stars, and they're welcome to their opinions, just like I'm welcome to mine. But you'd really think that they would want to see our country back. I mean, even Kanye West, as crazy and neurotic as he is, he actually got himself, what's wrong with making America great again? There's nothing wrong with making America great again. Okay, well, thank you for listening. And I do have a RockNRoll100fm.com YouTube page, but I've sort of quit using it because you just can't get hits anymore. You can create new pages, but nobody follows them, nobody sees them because of their algorithms. It's not because of you, it's because they're algorithms. And I was already struck down a long time ago in March 2014 or 15. I'm not real. I can go back and look. I made a video about it. But it was a march. It was, they got Mark Dice at the same time. And they'd come up with this thing over there in England where they was, or the UK, where they was taking down people they deemed national threats. It was under their national security. And YouTube has hired these kind of people to take down the rest of the internet. And I actually got struck a week or two ago on the VE service. The VE struck me down. When they got a bunch of smut on there and they got a bunch of pirated movies and everything else, but yet they struck me right away. I mean, I'm pretty sure I may be off of it again. I put it back up there. I put me another page. I didn't take it. I just made me another account. I'm sure they may have done took me down again. I haven't checked it so far, but I uploaded 3 videos on there last night, and the other night, so I'm pretty sure. As you can see right here, that tells my history of how I started. I used to make tapes when I was a kid. I done it with a radio. I need to get a picture of that radio. I mean, there are pictures of it out there because I put one in a video. In my music video, Code Hard Yesterday, I featured that radio that I used to make the mixtapes off of. And I actually started that in the summer of 1988. So I'm counting this actually, even though my radio stations, I've only gave it the credit of being around from 2009. It really dates back all the way back to the summer of 1988 when I got that radio for a birthday present. I hadn't had a tape player since I was a little kid, and I just sort of had fun with that thing. I made a little fake talk show. I won't go into it because it was silly, and it was using a body fluid, or body reaction, gas. It was called Fart Takes Manhattan. It was just a joke. And that was my first attempts to make a talk show. And it was sort of the direction of Howard Stern or something like that, where it was, but I was just a kid. So, because and it was inspired by many of things. Like when I used to rebel against things, I used to fart on something, sort of like some idiot Millie Weaver. But you're talking about a little boy. You're not talking about a grown man. This was an old man. An old man and an old woman standing there. And he turns around and he literally farts on Millie Weaver of InfoWars. He farted on her. Like a damn kid. Like stuff that I did when I was a child. I actually recreated a Fart Takes Manhattan show in 1997. I've actually got that one. I may put a piece of it in one of my podcasts. Now, it's silly. And this was done years later. This was like 20 years ago. I was older then. I should have knew better to make a fart takes back then. But I done it because of some reason or other I was nostalgic in that year and I wanted to recreate. I'm going to pull out a piece of that one of these days. I think I will. Just especially this year, since just to look back on the 1988 when I started the RockNRoll100fm.com. It wasn't called that. It was called Radio 666 or something like that. And then I eventually reversed it because I got to thinking that was kind of demonic. So I done it as 99.9 and even transmitted it on 99.9 here in Dalton because it was free. It's one of the free channels. But even 99.9 is kind of demonic because it's the inverted 6. So it was still kind of demonic. But see, I wasn't a Christian back when I was a kid. I mean, I believed in God and I knew who he was and I'd hear about him and heard my grandmother tell about him and my uncle and a few other people. But I don't count myself a Christian because I didn't say the Lord's Prayer, and that's when you invite him in your life and all that stuff and you accept him as your Lord and Savior. I still ain't that. I used to whine about it and boo-hoo about it in my blogs. Like, I used to feel like I was too mean. And maybe I am too mean, but I don't worry about it anymore. And I really don't know if I should have took that attitude or not. But it's just come to my realization that in God's time, he'll take care of all those things. I think about the little bit of things he's already stripped away from me. So I just think that over time, and then when he comes and when he sets up his kingdom and all that, and he returns to earth, we'll finally get the perfection that we look for. So I just don't strive for it anymore. I still want to be good. I still want to do good, and I still feel bad if I do bad. But I don't strive to be perfect anymore. And people took it that I was talking about them. I mean, I literally had people telling that I was judging them, and I would just write them broadly. Like I'd take Bible verses and post the whole chapters, and sometimes I'd actually be doing Bible studies, and I was really doing it for myself. I was posting on that web page and then reading it back because I could put it in the font that I wanted it. And I'd usually set it at the font that I could read it, and I'd usually read that chapters on my blog as I was posting them. And people took it that I was, sometimes I do stuff for myself, like my website here. It's set up, other people can visit it, but I set it up as a hub for my podcast and stuff. And at the time, the radio station. I used to have a link to my radio station from Live 365 on this page, just like I have now the link to my playlists. So I'm just going into a little bit of details here, and I know nobody probably don't care. That's okay. Just sharing my story because I was wrongly judged. They literally said I was judging people and I was this and I was that, and I was really just posting that stuff. Now the stuff that I wasn't talking about me is the stuff that I disagree with. And I don't judge these people, but I was just getting so tired of the rainbow agenda, the rainbow flag. And I'd post about that, and then they started calling me a homophobe. And even this girl that I used to talk to as sort of like a friend, she even wrote me and told me, I don't really know what to think because they're all telling me you're this and that, but I don't think you're that, but I'm going to quit talking to you because I don't know. And I told her, well, I guess if you don't think it, I guess if you think you shouldn't talk to me, well, then I guess you probably shouldn't talk to me. But I wasn't really a homophobe, but what they call a homophobe, which is I might be as far as the lifestyle is concerned, but I don't hate people based on it. I mean, that's going to be your answer with God, just like my cursing and my mean spirit that I think I have, and it's not as mean as it used to be. It can be if I allow it. Sometimes I can allow myself, like last year, like you seen Alex Jones last night. He got so mad that he was cussing on his videos. I was doing that in my podcast last year. I'm trying not to let myself go to that anymore. And so far I've been, I'd say 75%, 80%, maybe 90, 95. Doing okay, but sometimes I'll slip a down in there, but down was in the Bible. And I'll slip a hill in there. Hell is biblical. It's a literal place. It's a literal place that the lost will spend if you don't believe in Jesus Christ and accept Him as your Lord and Savior. They are right. You do have to do more than just believe. But they don't really know nothing about Donald Trump here. They say he's not a Christian. It looks to me like I've heard he prays about everything he does. I mean, isn't that what Christians are supposed to do? We forget about all this good talk and all this stuff. Nobody's perfect. Nobody is. Noah got drunk. His nakedness was uncovered. He wasn't being perfect at that moment. And his kid actually started in with him, and tried to expose him, and he turned out, he cursed him. And I know that ain't the black curse like they go on about. That was a curse because that's just ignorant racism talking. His curse was because he tried to expose his fighter's nakedness. I don't really try to do that with mine. Indeed, I've put my mean old daddy here on my site. I'm not real sure about him because before I never knew what caused this. I didn't know if it was something to do with the sickness or something to do with the hospital. But he went to the hospital a different person, and he come back. When he come back, he would make excuses for the illegal aliens. Now before then, he was totally different. I never did know what was up with that. And I'm sorry for going on about that. But at the same time, he didn't want them getting those services and stuff. Indeed, he actually got mad when he found out that they was getting more money than him, and he worked his whole life for. And he actually threw it. Well, then what did I put all my time in there for? Because he found out they was getting 1,700 or something like that per kid or something like that. Anyways, I think I'm going to close this video. I've ranted about it a while, but there's a little bit of about me there on the website. And as of right now, my music is kind of on hold. Because right now I'm putting all my time in this podcast. Now, if I get some song ideas in my head, I may write them. And that is true here. America is a nation of legal immigrants, not illegal aliens. Thank you for watching, if you did watch. A.P.S on Twitter, A.P.S Our Music on Instagram, A.P.S Our Music at gab.ai, and A.P.S on Facebook. And my YouTube channel, I've got a RockNRoll100fm.com one. If you find it, subscribe to it if you want to. And if I get any subscribers on it, I'll start posting my videos there. But for right now, I'm on A.P.S Rocks. That's A.P.S Rocks, and if you search for it, you'll find my picture with night in the effect. I've got it set as my icon. That's me because there's other A.P.S Rocks out there. Some of them have separated it. But I'm A.P.S Rocks, and you'll see videos like from my podcast and stuff like this. Look for something like that. Or I have some concert videos up there. Because I like to go. I really used to love to go to concerts where all this ISIS crap started. So thank you for watching, and hopefully you will tune in to my podcast.